Quarter day, 1905. The estate is paying its way at last. Relief, short-lived. Loneliness. Grace in London. Long time. Oh, enough.
Sir?
Good day.
Master's engaged at the moment, sir.
I'll wait a minute.
Can't say as he'll have time to see you.
I dare say he'll decide about that.
In here.
Who'll be that? Well, I never.
Squire will soon give him his marching orders.
It's the latest thing.
Look at the price.
We need up-to-date threshing machines.
One perhaps, but two?
Two. One for the home farm and one I can let out to the other 5 farms.
You can't afford the investment.
That's for me to decide.
You're the employer.
John, I didn't mean it like that. We must modernize. I must take decisions. I've been here 3 years.
And I've been trying to keep this estate together for 23 years.
I don't need reminding.
You're reducing your debts. Now, why add to them with 2 expensive machines? Huh? Wellesby over at Weymouth bought one of these. His widow is selling up. Now I can get it dirt cheap. Try and make do with the one.
Second hand?
That's all you can afford. I mean, get it into your head. 3 years, you're just a beginner at this game. I'm sorry. I've got no right to take your pay and talk to you like that.
Yes, you have. You've every right. It's I who am sorry. I just don't know what's got into me. Get Wellesby's machine. It's the ideal compromise.
It's in first-class condition. Now, we'll try it out in Home Farm. Let the tenants see it at work. The people have got to get used to these new things.
I was just being pig-headed.
Well, you haven't been yourself lately, I know.
I've been so worried.
Grace? Have you had any news?
No.
Well, I'll ride over to Weymouth and have a look at this machine. I've got to make a call anyway. Yes?
It is master I want. You got a visitor, sir.
Mr. Craddock, I am James Grantham.
How do you do?
How do you do? I'm the Liberal candidate for this constituency.
Yes, so I gather.
I hope you don't mind my calling uninvited.
Not at all, but I am busy and I wouldn't want to waste any of your time.
You're not doing that if I may detain you for a short while.
Well, perhaps you'll state your business.
I come over on Tuesdays to see Eve Morgan, my chairman for the Valley.
Oh, our local firebrand.
He is, rather.
And you are not.
I thought I'd take the opportunity to call on you. No, Mr. Craddock, I'm not. If you'll give me the time to convince you. We have got 50 supporters down here.
That's not many.
I started 2 years ago with one, Eve Morgan.
Well, as long as you're not looking to me to be your 51st.
I confess, I thought till recently it would be hopeless. The squire, the Lovell tradition.
Well, what has led you to think that it might be otherwise?
Oh, we've happened to mention...
I don't ever remember discussing my views with Eve Morgan.
Eve told me that when you came here, at the end of the Boer War, you'd been fighting out there, I believe.
Yes.
According to Eve, you sided so stoutly with the Boers that the local Tories foamed at the mouth.
I only said what I thought.
It's what I think, too, on that subject.
It was a bad war. We were out there to grab the goldfields. I know your man, Lloyd George, said the same and nearly got lynched for it, but that does not make me a liberal, Mr. Grenfell.
It makes you the kind of man I'm looking for.
I'm not interested in politics. I came down here to get away from that, and from every other kind of filth. I think we've said enough, don't you?
course. I'm sorry if I tried to preach. I am under your roof unasked.
I'm sorry you called for nothing. I did tell you. My wife might have been more receptive to your ideas.
Oh? Might I meet Mrs. Craddock, perhaps?
No, she's in London. And of course she hasn't got a vote.
I assure you that doesn't matter.
Oh. It does to her. She's thrown in her lot with the women's suffrage movement. She's up there now, working for them.
Well, the spirit is admirable.
She spends a great deal of time up there. She seems to think it's worth it.
Don't you? Well, I shan't keep you. Thank you for seeing me.
Grenfell, you know you haven't a chance down here.
I dare say. But someone must make a start.
At what?
Telling the truth. Helping the weak against the powerful. Good day, Mr. Craddock.
I say,
Yes?
I admire your nerve at least. If you're not in a hurry,
No, but aren't you busy?
why didn't you stay for dinner?
Oh,
I'd be glad of the company.
but I'm not to preach.
I might ask questions.
Wind's rising. Don't like that cloud in the west. In for a storm, I lay.
That man be staying. He's staying for dinner.
What? Grenfell, the Liberal?
Large as life. Drinking our sherry.
Always said that Craddock was a wrong un.
Horace, you don't know what's going on.
Don't I just? I don't empty postbox for nothing. What sort of man lets his wife go traipsing off to London for 2 months? 2 months. And not for the first time. She's up there more than she's down here. A woman in her state.
Horace, the girl.
She got eyes. Same as all of them round here. He ran after his missus like a dog. 2, 3 letters a week. And what do he get back? 1 mingy postcard.
Where's the wife?
I went here. It's prize day.
The prize day? Oh, school. Huh?
Young Sydney. Prize every year. Look, for scripture and good conduct. Good conduct.
Martin, you're 2 months behind with the rent. Now, why didn't you bring it? Damn the money. It's you. You're never a day late, you. Now, what's coming to you, man?
Is my land neglected?
Now, don't be a fool.
Is my stock cared for?
Of course it does.
No cause for complaint, then.
People have been talking. You've been boozing. Down at the Raven. You never used to booze?
Anyone see me drunk?
No. No, that's what's wrong.
Nobody's seen me drunk.
Like a damn ghost. Sit, drink, never a word. Walk about, all night. Not the only one with troubles, man.
There she comes.
Now, what is it? Now, come on. You can tell me.
Get the livestock in.
Stop a minute. Is the farm too much for you? I can get someone.
No. She's hard without my son Will. It wasn't me that drove him away. Scripture. Good God. Have they ever sent me drunk? No cause for complaint.
Oh, it's getting worse. You're welcome to a bed for the night.
No, I must get back to town. Though I hate to hurry with your excellent brandy.
Well, in that case, I'll get my man to run you to the station. Take your time. He will. Your 50 followers are all chapel-goers. Teetotalers to a man, I'll bet.
Bless them.
What would they say if they saw you now?
That I was a good man fallen among sinners. Seriously, there must be change in Britain. We've had compulsory education for 30 years. Government should be the business of everybody, not just a few.
Well, perhaps only a few can govern.
Ah, but which few?
Well, I'd say in this valley only one man. Me.
Yes, sir.
Could you please tell Horace to get that Good Lord.
At this hour?
Well, you better go and see who it is.
Yes, sir.
If it'd been anyone from the estate, they would have called at the kitchen door.
Oh, Mama. Oh, Hodgkin, bring my bags in.
Mr. Craddock. Please, excuse me. Grace, my dear.
Hello, Paul. Oh, they give Hodgkin £1/2.
Yes, cool.
He brought me up from the station fly. He had to cover it, but my goodness. Oh, my dear, I hope you've got a good fire in
Grace,
here.
what on earth?
Oh, good evening. Who are you?
I am James Grenfell. I'm happy to meet you, Mrs. Craddock.
I've heard of you, the Liberal man, aren't you?
Grace, my dear.
Bag, sir. Was there anything else, sir?
Yes, you better make sure there's a good fire in the bedroom. Oh, and tell Horace to get that trap. Tell him to be sharp. Mr. Grenfell has to catch the last train to town.
Yes, sir.
Your guest and I have introduced ourselves.
Grace, my dear, you are so...
Oh, you exaggerate, but I'll have a brandy. Paul.
I'd have met you. Why didn't you wire me?
Spur of the moment.
And to ride in a station fly in your state.
Needs must, my
We'll
darling.
go upstairs at once. You must excuse us, Grenfell.
I
And
would
get out of those
like
wet
that
clothes. You're
brandy, my dear.
Well, you go on up. I'll send Mrs. Hancock up with
I'll
this.
have it here. Or am I intruding on masculine secrets?
Well, Mr. Craddock has given me an excellent dinner. I'll be off as soon as the trap is ready.
Thank you, Paul. Do sit down and finish your drink, Mr. Grenfell. I am sorry if you find my appearance embarrassing.
Please, Mrs. Craddock, not at all.
No, I do.
I hear that you take an interest in advanced ideas.
Overdue ideas, I should say.
It would give me much pleasure to discuss them with you at some time.
Regrettably, not in the near future. I shall be much occupied, as you see.
I am a supporter of votes for women.
And of our suffragette movement?
If you mean that wing of the women's movement which is led by Mrs. Pankhurst. No.
That's because we mean business.
Your leaders appear to be contemplating what they call direct action.
After 2 years of peaceful persuasion have failed.
I have heard some of your ladies claim that they are prepared to try violent measures, like the unemployed when they riot and break windows. Ladies, that would be unthinkable.
But it is continued oppression which I find unthinkable.
Oppression, Grace, please, forget this nonsense.
Don't
You'll catch your death, of
patronize.
cold.
Mr. Grenfell, you want us to have the vote, but not to fight for it.
As long as you confine yourselves to what is peaceful and lawful.
And get nowhere except to be patted on the head as you are doing, Mr. Grenfell, and you too, dear Paul.
And I must say that for me, there are other problems more urgent.
Problems for men only?
There is unemployment. There's the danger of a bloodbath in Ireland. There are old age pensions to fight for.
Tra-la-la, tra-la-la. You must excuse me, Mr. Grenfell, but my comrades and I have been lectured too often as if we were still in the nursery. And I have had a long journey. Good night.
Good night.
Grace, you might at least have shaken hands.
Oh, poor dear. I'm wet.
Trap's ready, sir. Not fit for a dog to go out in.
What's the matter with you? Have you joined a damn union? I don't envy him his journey. Thank God you're safe and sound.
There's a draft up there.
Yes.
Thanks.
How are you?
2 women in my carriage, all the way down, gabbling like hens. Me, oh,
I've been worried.
no need.
Why didn't you write?
No news is good news.
Grace, don't pat me on the head.
Sorry.
I've been half demented these last few weeks.
About me, Paul?
About you and our child.
I was busy. You knew I was among friends. I was all right.
Grace, I read in the Times about a suffragette meeting that was broken up by drunken rowdies. Now, were you there?
Thank goodness, no.
You might have been.
Might have been, wasn't.
Grace,
Can't you appreciate my feelings?
You would have heard.
If I had, it would have been too late. You are carrying our child.
I'm only too aware of that.
It was your duty not to expose yourself to risk at any of these meetings, because you were going to these meetings, weren't you?
I'm very tired.
I'm sorry. You gave Paul Grenfell short shrift.
I was very nice to him.
Oh, come on.
Well, what was he here for? To canvass votes?
In the first place.
Impudence.
Well, you affect to have radical ideas.
I don't affect. He's just a wretched little social climber, like a commercial traveller selling promises instead of soap.
He gave me the most intelligent conversation I've had in years.
Well, that doesn't say much for me.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, I haven't seen you to speak to for ages.
A few weeks?
Ages, and often before that.
Well, not fatal, I'm sure.
Oh, don't joke, Grace. It's become a nightmare. You, in London all the time.
You said I could go.
I had no idea what it would lead to.
Nor had I, Paul, nor had I at the start.
This movement of yours has become an obsession.
So it seems.
And you would even put that before our child.
If my child is a girl, I am doing it for her.
Oh, my God, not that claptrap, not now.
Claptrap?
I wonder you came home at all.
Oh, Paul, I can't stand anger.
You'd make a saint angry.
Oh, look at me. Look and see why I came home. I couldn't bear to be seen in public like this. I am loathsome.
No, you're not.
Yes, and that's why I came home, because I was frightened. Because an animal runs to its earth.
There's no
and
reason to be
because you
frightened.
were here.
I booked one of the best specialists in the country for you.
He said it would be dangerous.
He said difficult, not dangerous.
I'm the wrong shape. He said so. I could see through all his careful words, his soft
He'll
soap.
be here as soon as we need him. A wire from me and he'll be on the next train.
You're treating me like a child again.
I've got to look after you. It's my job.
Oh, again and again you provoke me. And you don't mean to. It's what you are. It's what you all are.
Oh, Grace, please.
Oh, yes. Even when we spoke of drunken rowdies at one of our meetings, you were angry with me, not with them, not with the hooligans of your
not
own sex.
now,
Then
please.
don't lecture me about childbirth. I'm the one who will suffer.
You'll have all the help in human power. It's what all women face.
Look at that now.
Now tell me, you didn't experience any maltreatment in London?
Oh, damn, London, I'm here.
You are sure you didn't overexert yourself?
Oh, Paul, who are you worried for? Me or the child?
The child, hang it!
Yes!
He's helpless and you are not!
He!
And I am worried for you. But when you play the fool with 2 lives at stake...
Oh, leave me
Oh,
alone.
no, I should have put my foot down sooner. It's time you heard the truth. Oh, yes. Grace?
I've had pains before.
Oh, my God. I've been a brute, haven't I? Look, you must rest. You must rest. It's the strain and the journey and the me going on at you. Is that better?
Yes, yes.
Can I get you something?
No.
These last 2 years, they've been so awful. But in a couple of weeks, it'll all be over. We'll have our child, and everything will be all right. Oh, Grace, I don't mean to annoy you, but a child makes a home. We'll have something real to share. Everything will be all right. I know it will. Grace? Grace?
It's the baby, you fool! Sir, back to the kitchen and fill their kettles. Oh, thank goodness you've come. Just Mrs. Craddock.
But she's back.
She's in her bed, sir, in labour.
Merciful heaven.
My horse took that Liberal to the station. He's still away with a trap, taking shelter, I reckon.
He's drinking cocoa with the station master.
Is that you, John? Thank God you're back. Ada, get back to Mrs. Craddock.
Paul, how is she?
Oh, it's bad, John.
This specialist you booked.
There's no time, man.
And there's only O'Keefe.
I've got to stay here. You get him.
Oh, and I better get the doctor from Paxtonbury?
She may not last that long.
But O'Keefe!
Get him!
There, my dear. There.
Thank you, Ada. I'll stay with Mrs. Craddock. You get back down to the kitchen.
Can't do a thing with that Thursday without you keeping an eye on us, sir.
How is it?
It's a bit better.
The doctor will soon be here. Can I get you something? A little brandy, perhaps? Grace, you must know. It's you I care about. You must believe that.
You said doctor.
Yes.
O'Keefe?
He'll soon come.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
And you care for me? Oh, I wait.
Oh, Grace.
Kill me now.
Grace, please.
Oh, let go. This is only the beginning. Are you satisfied? Have you proved your manhood?
Grace, please.
Oh, it serves me right for coming back. I'd have had a decent doctor in London.
O'Keefe will manage.
And so would a vet, and more appropriate. But then I forgot. I shouldn't be worrying about me. It's your son and heir that
Grace,
matters.
please, no.
And I better produce a son, or else I'll have to go through this again and again
No, Grace.
till I do. Oh, you'll force me to. If you have to,
Please,
you have a
Grace.
legal right. Because you must have a son to inherit your estate in the male line. And then he will put some woman to the torture as you have done. Oh, get out! Get out! Send the woman to me!
I'm going to stay for your sake.
Don't you know what the sight of you is doing to me? Go!
Is that you, John?
I've got her.
Thank heavens. You've been armed. O'Keefe?
Oh, that's your service, Mr. The bell was rising above the great mountain. It's a mossy light. It's a mossy.
Never mind us. You can upstairs and let him in.
Beneath the footsteps, when I stray with
Shut up!
my love.
Shut up!
Right, on the wrong
Where
road,
was he?
island up the finish.
Where was
Damn
he?
the English now.
3 miles past Cool Bay. Snoring in a tap room. Sorry I took so long, Paul. But you've got to listen to me. Martin Cottrell.
No, not now, man. Not now. O'Keefe, take a hold of yourself. Wake up. Come on. Speak to me.
Yeah, let me sleep.
My wife
I'll be
is in labor, and she needs your help.
Yes, well, I'll be all right in an hour. Just give
She
me
may
that.
not live that long.
Oh, God forgive me. God
Oh, wake up, man.
Oh, it's
Wake up!
Martin Cottrell. He's going to kill somebody.
What's that?
Martin Cottrell. I didn't want to tell you no. But I've got to go.
Got to go.
Martin, he's run berserk. He's got a shotgun. He took a shot at the Phelps stable boy. Well, thank God he missed. Well, I ran into Phelps, sent for the police. Martin ran away. He's still out there, in the dark.
Ready to blow someone's head off.
First man he meets. Now, look, I had to carry on, bring O'Keefe back here. But you've got to let me go now.
Wait, no.
Don't be a fool. He'll murder somebody.
I'll go.
Don't be damn still with you. Your wife needs you.
And there's not a thing I can do about it.
But he's useless.
Sober him. Get him to her. She's no other chance. I'm useless.
Look, your place is here.
Martin's got a gun, and it's my job to get it off him. Now go on, wake him. Get on with it. This is my valley, my people.
Whiskey. Just a glass of whiskey.
Can't you think of anything else but drink?
Mr. Craddock, Will, open up!
Hold on, sir.
Will, your father's gone out of his mind. Now get a saddle over that mare of yours and get up a search party for him over the moor. I'm going to make sure your mother and brother are safe. Now, I'll wait for you there until you arrive, right?
Right, sir.
Towards the wind.
You come back.
No. Let's pull myself together. Oh, I wanted to fetch Mr. Evely, but it was so dark out there. I was afeard your father'd
come at me in the dark. And I was afeard for you alone here, so I ran back. Best to bide here now. There. I'm respectable again. Sidney, you must be a man and help me. Go round in both the other doors.
No, Mother, no.
I won't let him hurt you, my darling.
No.
Stay here.
Mother, don't go.
I must fasten the doors and the windows. Oh, don't fret, my son. I'll be back in a minute. I won't let him hurt you.
No. Mother. Mother.
I don't know what to do with him.
Drink. Drink. It'd be no use till he slept it off.
Keith, can't you hear her? Just give me a glass of whiskey. Yes.
The rain gives over betimes, but that gale's something dreadful. River's flooded. Oh, so she's back, be she? Ready to carve by the sound of it.
You better get Dr. Wilmot from Paxtonbury.
Not me. I'm not going out again, sir.
She'll die.
It won't help her if I catch my death. Always did catch cold easy.
Drink.
Poor girl.
She'll croak before Wilmot gets here, sir.
Well, I hope to God that Mrs. Hancock could do something.
Oh, my aid is no good for this sort of business. Panicky she be. No stomach for blood.
Keep off! I need it.
I ought to shoot you.
Hot water. Upstairs. You can't. God help me, man. What other chance has she got?
I don't want you, you drunken wreck. How dare he?
Hot water.
I'd have fared better if
Is
I
that,
were one of his horses.
is that towel cleaner?
Or one of those prize
Right,
Herefords he bought.
All right. Be quiet, Mrs. Craddock. Save your strength. Right.
Keep away from me, you butcher!
Now you can trust thee.
I want my husband. Tell him I want him. Get him. Where is he? Downstairs. Get him, Mama. Tell him I want him. I want him to see what he's done to me. Why don't you go? Where is he? Mommy, but you.
Now be quiet, woman. Hey, give me a blanket.
But where is he?
Some trouble on the estate, Mom.
The estate? No.
No, Mrs. Hancock.
His estate.
Listen carefully.
His
And do everything I tell you. At once.
Martin, I want to talk to you. Lower your gun, man. I won't hurt you. Martin? Martin!
I thought I could make something of him. Here, my darling. Get some hot cocoa into you. Go on, drink it.
My prizes.
Oh, what do you have to do that for on your prize day and all, my poor lamb? And you so happy. 'Twas cruel and wicked of him to tear up your lovely prizes just because I give him a piece of my mind. Try to sleep. Shall I get your blankets?
Mother, don't go, please.
Close your eyes, my darling. You see, he'll be all right in the morning. When daylight comes, he'll come back with his tail between his legs. I'll stay here with you.
Mom!
Don't fret, my darling, for it's only the wind.
No.
Oh, Lord in heaven preserve us.
Oh, Mom!
It's all right, my darling. Can't get in.
Mom, no!
Go away! Don't stay out in the wet. Go to the barn, get some sleep. You'll feel better in the morning. Lord be praised. You'll be so cold in the morning, you'll be grateful for a cup of tea. Mom! Saints preserve us. Oh, he's coming. Mom. Martin, I'm your lawful wedded wife.
Pouring it is. All wet. Useless. Pouring outside. 10 acre will be like a sponge. All the beasts be inside, thank goodness. Plenty feed. Pouring.
You must be tired. Why don't you go up to bed? Have a good sleep. Put your dry boots on at least. You want anything to eat? Well, do you? I'm not accustomed to wasting my breath.
Nothing to eat.
I'm dripping water all over my floor and muddy boots. Martin, listen when you're spoken to. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times not to come in here with muddy boots.
Pouring.
Is that all you can say after the exhibition you made of yourself? It's pouring. Sydney, your father's telling us it's raining. Now you see where you get your brains from.
Go round and round.
It's all that rough side you've been supping lately. I wish you'd found your way to Somerton Heights. You might have fallen in the river and rid us of you. Mother! Shh, and don't you frighten my boy. You frighten him enough already with your antics. Take those boots off. You deaf?
Mother, he might go to sleep.
He'll not go to sleep until I've made him realize what he's done. Too weary to take your boots off, are you? Perhaps it's something to eat you'd like, eh? Yes, yes, I think you ought to have something to eat. Here, eat this. My boy's prize. You tore it up, now eat it. All right, keep your filthy boots on. You think you're going up to bed in those filthy boots? Animal! What are you up to now? Martin? Martin?
Woman!
Are you coming, sir?
The wrong way.
It's not breathing. She stopped screaming.
4 times I went through that, Mr. Rudd. Terrible ordeal.
Quiet.
And a lot of good it did.
Quiet!
Ah, they're all out in service now, and never a penny.
Shut up, damn you! There's something wrong up there. Listen. Listen.
There you are, my dear. Your own little babby.
Boy.
Boy or girl, all welcome.
Oh, little boy.
Lovely.
I could cry.
You look at her babby for a little while. We soon have the cut upstairs. My goodness, you caught us all napping, you did. Reckon I deserve a medal after all that. How I managed it, I never will know. Still, 'tis all worth it, Bennett. You forget the pain once it's over. I did, and I went through it 4 times.
Mrs. Hancock, I'll be downstairs if you want me.
Yes, sir. Would you like a little zip of port, ma'am? Doctor said it would do you the world of good.
He would.
That's right. A smile at last. Well, 'tis our lot, ma'am. All we can do is keep smiling. But you'll think it's all worthwhile when you see Master's face.
Thank you. Is Mr. Craddock back yet?
He weren't when I went down last, ma'am. But you may be sure you'll see him the moment he gets back.
Yes. I want to see him.
Boy! What's happened? Sydney! It's all right. Now tell me what happened. Oh, my God. Go on. Come on then. He's in there.
Yes.
Your father. Sydney! Listen to me. You're safe here with me. Now hold on to my horse. You must wait. I'll get you out of here soon, I promise.
You feeling all right?
Dying. But I live.
Well, I'm off to help Paul now that's all over. You'll need some sleep. Better use one of the guest bedrooms.
I'll keep my clothes on till I've seen her again.
I need this. Do you want one? You deserved it.
Oh no, not a drop more. Till breakfast time. You know, I couldn't have done it sober.
Well, how a man can leave his wife. Not too soon, if that's him.
Horace, take this boy up to a bedroom quickly.
Yes.
Paul, what's happened? Later, John. Ada, look after him. Put him to bed and stay with him until he goes to sleep.
Sir, what?
At once. Now, off you girls. John, how's Grace?
She's all right.
Oh.
And the child.
I was too late. Martin killed Arabella. Hanged himself. Will Codsall's on his way there now. I don't want him to walk in and see what I saw. Martin used a sickle.
Dear Lord.
Go there now. Get there before he does.
Yeah, yes, all right.
O'Keefe?
Oh, congratulations, Mr. Craddock. You're the father of a fine, healthy boy.
Boy. How is she?
Oh, hurt, but she'll pull through.
She suffered all those hours. Well,
breech births, mostly. They take
Breech
longer.
birth.
Breech birth.
Yes.
She'll have to stay in bed 3 or 4 weeks, but I'll stay. See her when she's rested.
Yes.
You'll find her very weak. Like me, yeah.
Hello.
He's lovely.
What?
Oh, it's nothing. I can't kiss you. I'm filthy.
There's a towel over there.
Thanks.
Where have you been?
Never mind. Don't talk. The doctor said you must rest.
Where have you been?
4 Winds. It was something I had to see to.
Must have been very important.
Oh, it was.
Suppose you're pleased, boy.
To tell the truth, I didn't care what it was. Oh, when I saw you in pain, in labor, all I could think of was you. Now you must sleep. We can talk later.
You're very thoughtful, Paul.
Just get well. That's all I want.
Was that all you thought of when you went out?
Grace.
Tell me what was so important at 4 Winds.
Not now.
But I want to know. I want my thoughtful husband to tell me what was so important that he went out when I was in agony and he was thinking, or so he says, of nothing but me.
I cannot tell you. Not now. Now,
But
please, Grace, you must go to sleep.
Am I not to know it was more important than me?
It was important, but
am I to
not
mind
the way
my
you...
own business? Woman's business. Blood, filth, pain, trifles, aren't they? Compared to your damned estate.
Perhaps I was wrong. I didn't know what to do. Who is it?
Please, sir.
Well, go away. I'll see you later.
Just Will Castle, sir, I'm in a terrible state.
Yes?
Sir, this is with the boy. Will's down in the kitchen, soaked to the skin.
Well, you stay with him and tell him I'll see him later.
Sir, he's all wild. I can't do nothing with him.
Then John Rudd didn't... Oh. Poor Will. Darling, I've got to go downstairs. I'll explain later. You'll understand. But I can't leave Will now.
Of course not. Mrs. Hancock, come here. tell me what's been happening.
Now get this into you, Will. Go on, that's an order. Now drink it right down. I hope Mr. Rudd would get here before you.
Him there now, sir. And them others. I got there first.
Will, I can't tell you how sorry I am.
I'd already cut 'em down. Then they came.
You did that alone?
And laid him out decent like. 'Twas my father. I'll be all right now, sir.
Well, you rest here a while. Maybe I should send someone home with you.
No. I must see my Eleanor. I don't need no one.
Yes, you go straight to her. She's your best medicine.
That she be, sir.
Yes. Well, I'll come and see you later.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you're sure you're all right?
I am now. I don't mind telling ye. After I seen her and him, I were proper amazed.
Amazed?
Strange it were. As I was coming here, I keep seeing this man on the road in front of me. Only there weren't no man. No one. Night, Mrs. Hancock. Good night, sir.
They say Martin Codsall used to see men that weren't there.
I feel a little better, thank you.
I'm sorry I had to leave you like that.
I'm getting used to it. Ada told me what happened at Four Winds.
Yeah, I wanted to spare you that. But now that you know, you do realize...
Yes, I do. Because of some peasant drama, you go galloping all over the countryside. Not that you did much good playing at Lord of the Manor.
Grace, it was life or death.
It was life or death in this room. Mine.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, words are cheap. You left my life in the hands of a drunken quack. The lives of a pair of village clods meant more to you.
Grace, you said you didn't want me. I went where I could do something.
I had to fight like a wild beast to get that child out of me. But I learned something. I learned tonight how strong I was. How strong all women are. And we'll make the world find out before long.
Hello, John. It's all settled at Four Winds.
Yes.
I haven't congratulated you yet, Paul. Well, I can't tell you how pleased I am. It's a wonderful thing to have a son.
Yes. September the 25th, 1905. Again said no to seat on bench of magistrates. I won't send poor men to jail for poaching. Damn the county. Dare say gentry laugh at me with my absentee wife. I can do without them. Perhaps my own people laugh at me. I can't blame them. Tamer Potter would say, take her belt to her.
You've been at the doctor's all morning. Is this all the bottles as has got?
Dispensary locked out.
Old Keith Ben never sober long enough to put a key in a lock.
She's heard it's staying with him. She told me to keep to me cleaning.
Cuss her. Ben O'Keefe's medicine them taking for thicky rheumatics. 'Tis Meg Potter's. And Winderby yours soon.
Tastes awful bad.
It wouldn't be medicine without a bad taste.
Hot water, fish guts, and vener pods.
The secret between you and Miss Elmaiden. To be your fortune when you mould her. Let that stinking seaweed bite outside.
Why, it tastes like sweet violets alongside that brewing yawn. Where's the rum?
I drank the last one.
Oh, you wouldn't. Me been freezing down in the cove. Never mind. I won't be going thirsty. Yeah.
Another dead un?
Aye, 'tis a good time with the autumn gales. If the sea do take 'em overboard, that lovely crust tide from Weymouth do bring 'em into the cove. Let's keep a good watch on the cove from now on.
And make sure nobody to see us there, maid.
Why? Tis cut off even at low tide, and no one but us know the way down.
And you see it stays that way. Oh.
'Tis a good living with flotsam to sell and seaweed for the fields.
And the deadens. I hope I finds a den.
Well, maybe you will if you's a good girl. But don't you say a word to no one about our cove or I'll flay the hide off in you. Now, where be Smot be to, eh? I want him to spread that seaweed.
Over to Gilroy's coverts after partridge.
Ah, he's a good hard-working boy, be Smot. And where's her mother goes, eh? Right, Sissy Pansy? And bone idle, a lot of them.
Not idle, I'd warrant.
Ah, well, let them spread the fertilizer.
Like as not, they'd be doing their bit of fertilizing already.
Your sis, don't you brighten? Well, Pascal don't break easy, do he, Walt?
Have you girls got no decency? Get away!
Where to?
Where I can find ye. My lovely girl, off with that dress.
What, do it undress? That's not respectable. Oh, all right. Sooner than spoil a nice frock. There. Will that make you happy? You know me well enough by now without seeing me.
And some more.
Not likely.
Ain't that Lord Gilroy? He be going to the Hall. Who's that with him?
Mr. Cribb, that is. He looks after political matters.
Political? There are words full of the dictionary.
I know more than you think.
Ah, from the pub.
Stop it, ignorant thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on account of that Grenfell visiting the Hall.
Knows all about gentry, does our Walt? They ask him to tea.
Been going up there all summer, Grenfell have.
Well?
Well, a liberal. Gilroy won't have liberals here.
Oh, I wouldn't like to be Squire Craddock.
Just as well you're not. You want tickling, do you?
Ada! Miss Maureen. Oh. 'Tis ages since I've seen you and you don't look a day older. Oh. Squire be expecting you.
Come in.
Miss O'Keefe, sir. I'll bring tea.
How do you do, Miss O'Keefe? Oh, I'm sorry. I should say Dr. O'Keefe. Do sit down.
Thank you.
I heard you were staying with your father. I really ought to have called on you sooner. Please forgive me.
It was kind of you to invite me.
Well, I've always wanted to meet Dr. O'Keefe's brilliant daughter.
Just a plodding doctor, Mr. Craddock, whatever my father may think. Has he really talked of me?
Well, he isn't... He doesn't discuss his own affairs. Other people have told me, though.
Oh, yes.
You are in hospital practice?
At the moment, a woman's hospital in Coventry.
There you are, sir. Miss Maureen.
Thank you, Ada. Is this to be a long visit? Oh,
I don't know yet.
do have some of Mrs. Hancock's cake. It's absolutely delicious.
Thank you. My contract has expired. I can renew, but I've taken some time to look around.
How do you find the valley?
I haven't had much chance to see it yet, but it seems unspoiled.
Well, it'll remain unspoilt if I have my way. I really ought to have invited your father as well. I hoped he wouldn't mind.
No, he didn't.
No. How do you find him?
Older?
Yes, well, of course, it's been some years since you last saw him.
Well, yes, or we should have met before.
Yes. Do you find him much changed?
In what way? Mr. Craddock, are we not coming to the purpose of your invitation?
Miss O'Keefe, I assure you...
I don't cast doubt on your wish to be hospitable or on your interest in meeting me. But there is something else.
Yes, there is.
My father's health.
You were unaware of it till now?
Oh, I was aware of it.
Well?
Well? You want to get rid of him, is that it?
I don't want to get rid of anyone.
You want to get rid of him, and you want to enlist me to do it. I'm his daughter, Mr. Craddock. I love him.
Miss O'Keefe, I have a great regard for him. I have. I owe my son's life to him and my wife's. But you see, soon, you must know what keeps him going.
Alcohol. We might as well speak the truth.
Yes.
I've known for years.
Well, then I'm rather surprised.
But you haven't seen me before.
Yes.
He wouldn't have me here. He wouldn't have me see him as he was. He used to come and visit me sometimes when he was dried out.
But now?
But now, he's too far gone. Advanced alcoholism. That's why I'm here.
But surely, you see, I know he saved my wife, but next time...
Next time, he may kill someone.
Yes.
His liver is rotten. His brain is soaked. He hasn't got long, Mr. Craddock.
Miss O'Keefe, I'm so sorry.
He mustn't practice anymore. I've come home to take him away. I found a place that'll take every care of him until the end.
If I can help in any way,
I can pay.
Your father has done much good in the valley. We shall miss him.
Thank you.
But, Doctor, you won't leave us without a replacement.
Oh, I shan't go until I've found someone.
Thank you. Have you considered staying longer? Permanently, I mean.
No.
But your father would like it, and you said your contract had run out.
Mr. Craddock, I know I've been making calls for my father, but that's not the same as staying. What do you think this hidebound valley would make of a woman doctor? Or you, Mr. Craddock? Your son?
Simon, 7 months old.
Calling for
Yes.
attention. He seems pretty insistent.
I'll send for Thurza. We promoted our parlourmaid to nanny.
May I go and look at him? I'd like to meet your son.
How nice of you. I'll take you up.
Not a father he needs in this age. Your turn will come.
I'm looking forward to that, no end. What the devil?
Oh, my Lord.
Please excuse me, I'm sorry about this. Mrs. Hancock, will you show Dr. O'Keefe up to Simon?
Yes, sir.
Lord Gilroy.
Craddock, do you know my man, Cribb?
How do you do, Mr. Craddock?
How do you do?
I am the Conservative Party agent for this constituency.
Do come in.
I must apologize for having neglected you before. I used to stop over here quite a lot in the late Sir George's time, but then he was our local president before Lord Gilroy took over. Your lordship?
You made some changes here.
One makes a home as one goes along.
So you might say that I took you for granted,
Pray,
Mr. Craddock.
don't apologize.
I trust we find you well.
Yes, indeed.
And Mrs. Craddock, I hope?
She's very well, thank you. Now, how can I help you?
Well, you see, Mr. Craddock, how shall I put it?
Come to the point, Cribb.
His lordship is concerned by some idle gossip that has reached him as to your political associations.
My associations?
Oh, nothing more than rumour, I feel sure, but one should nip such pernicious rumours in the bud.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow you.
It may not have reached your ears.
Don't beat about the bush, Cribb. They tell me that little rat of a radical's been coming here.
Rat?
I dare say you are simply being polite, Mr. Craddock, but it is best to show such rascals the door. Give them your finger and they'll take your arm.
I can only suppose that you are referring to Mr. James Grenfell. Yes, he finds time to get over here quite often these days, I'm glad to say.
The devil he does.
Yes, he does.
You're not going to tell his lordship that you support these damn radicals?
I support no one, as yet. But I'm bound to say that I find him not only extremely civil, but very good company.
No doubt.
Yes.
Your lordship, Mr. Craddock is a comparative newcomer. We must not be hasty to condemn an error of social judgment. After all, we're here today to persuade Mr. Craddock that his interests lie with us. You say you're still uncommitted?
Politically, yes.
Grenfell is a wily bird. He's a good talker. You mustn't let him soft-soap you. You're a landowner now, Mr. Craddock. Landowners must stick together. If Grenfell had his way, there'd be no landowners.
Good Lord, man, Grenfell's not a Russian nihilist. He represents a respectable democratic party. And what's more, he would never have spoken of either of you two gentlemen as you have spoken of him.
We are wasting our time, Crib. I suspected you were a damn radical, Craddock, the first time I met you.
Wait! A word before you go, Lord Gilroy. Grenfell has never asked for my support. He is a friend and one I stand by. Now, what right have you to walk into my house and order me to show him the door?
I came to teach you some sense. A man doesn't buy 1,300 acres and refuse to defend it.
If you put your case, I might have listened. But you stand on my hearthrug and treat me like a serf that's turned uppity.
You behave like one.
Well, you've given me a lesson in politics. I at least now know who and what I'm up against.
Indeed. Then I hope you know you're committing social suicide in this country.
That's a threat, I take it?
I don't threaten jumped-up cockneys. But I can deal with anyone who threatens me.
I'll have you shown out.
Come, Crib.
He's the image of his father.
Gets chuffy like him, too.
Come in.
He's a fine little chap. Not much wrong with him. He has a slight cold. But don't worry, I'll look in and see him again.
That's very kind of you.
Not at all. I might as well start now. About practicing here. The answer is yes.
Splendid. Oh, I thought it was going to be no.
So did I.
Well, that's good. That's very good. Then welcome home.
Yes, I want to come home.
We might even have a chance to celebrate. Lord Gilroy's just been here.
I saw his carriage drive away.
Yes, he came here to tell me to drop my friend James Grenfell, the Liberal candidate.
Oh, you are the cat among the pigeons.
Well, and in consequence, I've invited James here to dine with me on Tuesday night. It would give me great pleasure if you would join us.
It would give me great pleasure to accept.
Splendid.
Mr. Craddock, when I look at a child, I like to talk to the mother. When may I see Mrs. Craddock?
She's in London at the moment.
Oh, I see.
But she'll be back before Tuesday. You can meet her then. She's attending a suffragette conference. Are you a supporter of women's rights?
Yes, I am. And of children's rights. I must be going.
Yes, of course. Well, till Tuesday.
Mr. Craddock, about your boy. That girl is not good enough.
Thurza? I know she's young.
She only knows what her mother and her grandmother have told her.
I know.
The boy was too hot, there were too many bedclothes, the windows were shut.
My wife has told her again and again.
But unfortunately, Mrs. Craddock isn't here. Given the girl a good talking to, but she's too simple. He needs his mother's care. Or failing that, someone more mature and motherly.
My wife wanted to get a trained nurse from London. But you see, I didn't have a son to fob him off to some starched nanny who would produce him twice daily for inspection. I came here to stay clear of London ways.
Did you?
I don't want him trained like some damn poodle. I want him to grow up a country child, a valley child.
Well, then why not get a local girl?
Because all the suitable ones are married and have children of their own.
May I make a suggestion?
Please do.
I've been going to see Ted Derwent in place of my father. You know Ted had a stroke.
Yes, I've been to see him a couple of times myself. They all assure me that it was only a mild one.
Oh, it's nearly all over, bar the grumbling.
Oh, there's always plenty of that from Ted.
Yes, I've known the Derwents for years. But it is a blessing that Claire came home to look after him. You knew about Claire?
Yes, I heard that she was back. One hears everything down here.
You haven't seen her?
No, she wasn't there when I called. Her name never came up.
Well, Claire is here and quite possibly available. Now, she's a trained nurse, and you couldn't ask for anyone more intelligent or warm-hearted.
Well, I doubt very much whether Claire would entertain the idea of, well, of a nanny's job.
Well, she used to like coming here, or so she says. I must be going. It was just an idea. I thought I'd mention it.
Hello, Edward.
Afternoon, Squire.
It's rather a good bottle of port. Dr. O'Keefe, Maureen tells me that a sip after meals will do you good.
Thank you. Put it on the sideboard.
Do you like a taste of my apple and blackberry, Mr. Craddock?
Thank you, I've just had lunch.
Give him a jar to take home. now.
No,
Big
no,
one.
no,
Fair
please.
exchange, then I want to know, you know.
That's very kind of you, thank you.
Sit you down, then.
Excuse me if I watch my jam,
Oh,
Mr.
do
Craddock.
carry on, please. I hear you're getting on splendidly, Edward.
I'll be on horseback by next week.
Mr. Craddock, he's already talking about going out with the aunt. Do tell him.
Well, I'd be very glad to see you there, Edward, but only when you have Dr. Maureen's permission.
Doctor, that will be joining the army next.
Well, I think she's first class.
Damn it, I give her piggyback rides when she were a little maid. Now she come doctoring me.
Well, I'm trusting her with my boy.
Doctor told you not to smoke.
Don't fuss, woman.
I hear that Claire's back.
Only for a little while.
Am I not going to be able to see her?
Oh, yeah, I expect so. She come home to help. She has a lot to do.
Oh, I see.
Why not? She's only upstairs, so and give her a call, woman. 'Tis all right, you won't have to.
Hello, Paul.
Claire, hello.
Heard you right.
How nice to see you again.
It is. You're looking well. A proper countryman.
Am I? I thought you would have looked more worldly. Well, perhaps... No, you haven't really changed. How's the nursing?
Oh, it's very interesting.
She's got her certificate now.
Already?
Oh, it's only a small hospital. You're a nurse in no time. You learn as you go. Well, it takes 4 or 5 years in a big hospital, but they only take ladies.
Oh.
I had to pay through the nose as 'twere.
You know I've got a son now.
Yes, I was so glad to hear it. Very happy for you. And Mrs. Craddock.
Thank you. Why didn't you come over and see him?
Oh, always glad to see a
Claire,
baby.
we got all the preserves to finish this week.
Well, perhaps when Father's better.
As a matter of fact, Claire, this is something that Dr. Maureen suggested. I need someone, well, my wife and I need someone to look after him. He's got Thurza, but he needs someone more responsible.
You mean to help Mrs. Craddock?
In her absence. She has to go away a good deal. Thurza could carry on with the routine work, but it's a bit of mothering he wants. Grace, my wife, has commitments, social and so on, quite unavoidable. She has to go to them.
Of course.
It would be a proper engagement. There'd be remuneration.
She don't need to work for money. I told her that when she went to empty bed pans.
It's the principle of the thing, Edward. Of course, I know the idea may not appeal. You have got your nursing.
Quite.
Yes. Still, there's no reason why you shouldn't come over and see the boy. Bring Rose.
Your sister be terrible busy in the stables. What with the aunt coming on?
I'll talk to Rose.
Good. Good. Well, thank you for the jam. No, don't bother. Bye, Claire.
Bye, Paul.
Good day.
Hey.
When I asked you over, I hoped my wife would be here to meet you. I'm sorry she's not.
Oh, that's all right.
She's bound to be on the afternoon train. We're giving a dinner party tonight.
Simon is gorgeous.
And he took to you as well. It's a pity Rose couldn't come.
I didn't ask her to. Well, that would have been cowardly.
You haven't changed.
I never did mind what people said. Or about being chaperoned, as you may remember.
Yes.
It was cowardly, though, of me not to come and see you when I first came back. And then I said, well, why not?
Well, I'm glad you did.
Paul, what's past is past by 3 years. We've both got our
Yes.
own lives now. And yours is happy, you tell me. Oh, I want it to be.
Excuse me, sir. I'll just take away the tea things.
That's all right, Mrs. Hancock.
My horse has gone down to the station again. Oh, 'tis not another wasted journey.
Madam will be on the afternoon train.
You said she'd be on the morning train, sir. And me would think you did a party tonight.
She'll be here soon.
Hope so, sir. It'll have to be roast beef.
That's excellent.
But 'tis not my place to order the meal.
I've given you a wine list.
But there's the table decorations. The puddings. I don't know what I shall do if she don't come and take
She'll be
charge.
here soon. Now, off you go.
Yes, sir.
Claire, will you take up the position? Will you help us with Simon? I know it means giving up nursing.
Oh, it's not that. Well, it's not only that.
Claire, I know the idea may embarrass you,
No,
and of course...
it's not that either. Well, you did say it was both you and your wife who needed someone.
Yes.
Well, was it her idea too?
Well, I shall, of course, discuss it with her.
Oh, yes, I think you should. Well, then, if she wants me, I'll come.
Thank you.
Of course, I can't live in. You must make that plain.
Naturally.
Well, Mother will still need some help. But I'll come over every day, if your wife approves.
You got it fine.
I'm bathed. I've only got to dress.
You came just in time by the sound of it. We're in for another storm. Grenfell's coming soon. Will you be ready?
If you let me. Mrs. Hancock held me up for ages with her please, ma'am, this and that.
Well, she can't manage a dinner party on her own.
Then you shouldn't have arranged one while I was away, a particularly boring one at that.
About Claire Derwent. Do you approve?
Do you need to obtain my approval before you install a young woman in the house?
I'm not installing her, I told you.
Oh, I know. You're so proper, it's boring.
Everything's boring to you, isn't it?
Everything here, I confess.
Including your 7-month-old son, whom you hardly ever see.
He's in good health. I spend as much time with him as I can.
Have you at least been in to see the baby?
Yes, I have. Are you surprised? You seem determined to be unpleasant.
Are you surprised that I am? When you leave your son apparently without qualms and I'm desperate worrying for him? That's why I had to go and talk to Claire. I didn't enjoy asking, I can tell you.
Really?
No. He needs her because he hasn't got much of you, and that's all there is to it. She doesn't interest me.
I was watching her before Horace took her off in the trap. You interest her.
Let's just talk about the child, shall we?
I'm not being bitchy, Paul. I may be one, but not about other women.
She's got over all that.
You need a woman.
God only knows why. But I still don't want anyone else but you. Oh, Grace. Does it always have to be like this? Don't you remember when we were first married? That was love, wasn't it?
Do be careful of my hair. I'm trying to get ready in time.
I love you very much.
You can't. Not after the way I've treated you.
There are times when that doesn't seem to matter.
Poor Paul. You said that the night you proposed.
Oh.
And I gave you warning. I did. I have to dress.
Please.
There isn't time.
Yes,
What for? A quick fumble? You men don't think much of us.
How can you say that?
You said Grenfell was arriving early. And anyway, I don't feel like it.
You never do nowadays. You're more in love with the suffragettes. Well, aren't you?
It is going to be a very trying evening. It will be worse if we quarrel.
Or is there a man in London?
Oh, don't be contemptible.
Oh, no, not a man. You've got nothing for a man. Not anymore.
Be quiet.
You were keen on love once. Where do you get it from now? The cause? Your women friends.
Enough! Or I walk out now.
There are people coming for dinner.
And I have to face them after you've said that. All right, get your Claire in. I failed the child, and I suppose I failed you too. Well, do what you wish with your life, because I shall with mine.
I came by the road from Winmouth. I thought my motor was going to be blown over the cliffs as I drove across Nun's Head.
When I was a child, we used to go down to the bluff in the autumn gales and watch the waves breaking 20 feet high. I expect you did too, Mrs. Craddock.
I spent most of my childhood away from here, luckily.
Oh, no. A childhood in the country is incomparable.
My wife has always preferred London.
As you say, Paul.
You must admit, Mrs. Craddock, that this weather has a certain, shall we say, operatic appeal.
If you have a taste for opera.
And have you not?
Well, early this year, my child was born in a storm like this. Perhaps that has spoiled my ear for music. It was quite a performance.
But they both came through well.
My father has told me about it, Mrs. Craddock.
Oh?
I shall miss your father, Dr. O'Keefe. He has a fine touch of Irish wit.
I shall miss him too.
Is it my turn to pay a tribute?
Grace, he did bring you through a dreadfully difficult birth. Few men could have done it.
Indeed, no man could, without a source of inspiration.
How do you find your little boy, Mrs. Craddock? I expect he'll sleep better now that you're home.
Well, haven't you told them, Paul? Oh, Miss Claire Derwent. She used to be a very good friend of Paul's. Is going to look after Simon. And Paul, I'm sure. And of course, I'm thankful that he has a woman doctor.
And a good doctor, we've all learned that.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's not only that, Paul. Think what women in childbirth have suffered for years at the hands of male doctors who neither knew nor cared, and sometimes were not in a fit state to either know or care.
Will you be coming up with the hunt, James?
Dinner is served, ma'am.
Don't he yet go out alone?
Ah, you maze woman? That's the weather I live by. Hark at it.
I hark. Will he hark?
Ah, and all that seaweed. A storm throws it up by the ton. I gotta get it up above the tide line before it gets washed away.
Bide where you too, tamer.
Yeah, well, what about the flotsam, eh? That's good pickings after a storm.
'Twill bide till morning too.
That's if the tide leaves it, you fool.
Aye. Tide do give and it do take away. Like him they calls the Lord.
Hey, what you be doing?
I be going to.
You sit down or I'll throttle you with that scarf of yourn. They tamer part needs a woman's help or you nail him in his box. Get out of my way. Bide your time with your cards, woman. I got a man's work to do.
Can't stand in the way of what's to be.
It amazes me, Mr. Grenville, that you can face an election with only a handful of votes pledged to you.
You'd be surprised how many more show an interest.
But what can you do, James, when, come election time, Lord Gilroy bundles the voters into carriages and off they go?
Voting for the man who gave them the right.
Yes.
Well, fair play, as they see it.
It's all a matter of education.
And what would you teach?
That the most precious weapon we have, which our ancestors fought for, is democracy, the vote.
Hear, hear.
And we must take it seriously, use it. You may indeed smile, Mrs. Craddock. I have played into your hands. But then I meant to.
Did you, Mr. Grenville?
In spite of your determination not to accept me, I am your ally. I want votes for women.
So you have often told me.
All we differ about is methods.
And that is the heart of the matter.
That is democracy, Grace.
Thank you, Paul.
Not at all.
For teaching me my ABC. And so I am put in my place. You see with what politeness the gentlemen dismiss us.
I'm not a gentleman, Mrs. Craddock. I think your lot are wrong.
And you say you support women's rights?
I've done more for them than you have.
I have not heard so.
I'm practicing a profession. I've captured a little bit of ground for women. You haven't, Mrs. Craddock.
I'm fighting to get the vote, which, as Mr. Grenville said, is the key to everything.
The key to everything is to make ourselves indispensable in every field of life, just as we are now in the home.
My dear doctor, I do hope the treatments you prescribe for your patients are not as slow and as dubious as that.
Perhaps better medicine, my dear, than what we hear threatened more and more openly by your suffragettes.
Oh, civil disobedience, it frightens you.
Hardly more than by the tantrums of children. But to hear ladies threaten to create public disorder is not pleasant.
The men who break up our meetings create disorder. I have seen policemen standing idly by, grinning.
Two wrongs, my darling, do not make a right.
You have such an original way of putting things, dear.
If your ladies resort to breaking the law, they will be punished.
Ah, the law. Out comes the big stick.
Oh, you have a delicious gift for dramatization, my dear.
You flatter me, my love. May I speak freely?
Of course, my dear. Speech is free.
Except when rough shout our speakers down.
The law is there to protect you until you break it, in which case you will be dealt with. That is equality of the sexes, is it not?
Then you'll come to judgment. Like a little child am I instructed. Isn't it pleasant here? We listen to the gale outside. The room is warm and rather handsome, though I say it has made it so.
As is the rest of the house. Why don't you show Maureen round?
Oh, soon, Paul. When we have finished enjoying our after-dinner conversation. After-dinner conversation? All right, you may go. I shall ring when I want you. In rooms like these, among people like us, matters of life and death are small talk.
Life and death. Not.
Life and death for the thousands of poor women who die of backstreet abortions.
This is not the time
Life
or place.
and death for the army of prostitutes.
Grace!
They exist. Is it too shocking to name them?
Grace, control
The police
yourself.
hunt the poor creatures and lock them up. The real criminals are the men who use them.
I think enough has been said.
My dear, I'm sorry. You remind me that in this home of ours, you are the master, and that speech, after all, is not free.
Grace, I remind you only that you are hostess at this table.
Oh, yes, yes. I forget my duty to my guests. Forgive me, please, both of you. But you see, I also have a duty to those who are not educated, nor even permitted to speak for themselves. The women in 1,000 slum streets who accept in silence that they will be smashed up by drunken husbands every pay night.
Mrs. Craddock, I think we ladies might well retire.
Yes. Retire? Retire from the field. They say that about battles. Always retire. Always give way. Be civilized. Be genteel and gracious. And obedient like the household pets we are.
Well, perhaps we can resume later in the drawing room, when passions have subsided.
I pray God mine never will. It isn't my open enemies who sicken me most. The cloddish politicians who laugh at us. Or the respectable gentlemen who jeer at our speakers and then try and paw us like animals on heat. I take them for granted. But heaven save me from my friends. I can't forgive you. Any of you.
And if some fanatical spinster tells you to, will you break the law?
Yes. And what will you do then?
No, I'll go with her.
That's been a wreck in the bay.
You in luck?
The ship's boat by the sound of it. They got on to Table Rock. The ship must have gone down. To the side of the point.
A few dead uns come morning.
Where's Smuck?
Out.
The girls out whoring, eh? That's just when I need them.
Plenty of time, come daylight.
I need them now. Wind's dropped a bit. Sea's still bad. But it could be got off.
Who?
Crew, you fool.
What's that? You mun be mazed.
They could be got off. It is chancy.
Dangerous.
Aye.
Oh, you my gird home. T'ain't done for. I suppose us'll be dead uns too. Bide here till daylight. I tell you, 'tis in the cards.
Yeah.
And use your head. If that cove be yourn, 'tis bread and butter. Nobody even knows the way in. Tell it to all the world. Give it away for Tom, Dick and Harry to plunder.
Aye.
Come on, old Tim. Sit down. Come on, my lover. Take your boots off. Bide here with me. I'll make you warm tonight. Let be what will. 'Tis the rule of love.
You be men! Men, goddammit! And so be I!
Mrs. Craddock has a headache.
Well, I'll go up to her.
You'd better not. There was some chloral handy. I gave her a drop. She'll sleep for a while. She really is under a great strain of some sort, Paul.
The strain of leading two lives.
Devil, this all? She come by the kitchen door. Hazel, quietly, Hazel. Now just tell me what's happened.
There's a ship's crew on Table Rock.
Table Rock? I don't recall it.
In our coast, just below our house.
There'll be a beach so with rocks off it. Nobody can get down
we
there.
can't, sir. We got a secret way. It's my dad's own beach.
Horace, you seem to know where it is. Get Mr. Rudd and tell him to rouse all the men he can at once. So off you go. James, have you got your motor?
Yes.
Good. Go to Sorrell Halt, use the station master's telephone and inform the Coast Guard and the lifeboat.
Right.
I think I'll be needed.
Yes. Low Coombs the nearest house. Make that your first aid post.
Don't worry, I'll find my way.
Hazel, I know you're wet
Oh,
through.
I'll take you, sir. My dad wants
Good.
to see you.
Come on, then.
Hazel! Hazel, stop! Be careful! It's impossible.
No, sir! I'll see you safe down! Hazel, I'll send the girls for salmon snook. Run to the woods and tell them to make haste!
Hazel, tell them to bring rope. All the rope they can. Make it easier for help to come.
Over here! Over here! They're not shouting anymore. My voice gone. Trying this. That's pitch. I keep it down here from me boat.
You got a boat down here?
What of it?
I don't care, you damned idiot! A boat!
Look! Still out there!
Ahoy there!
Ahoy!
Hold on! Hold on, we're coming!
Down here! Down here!
All right, come on!
Sam, take him down!
Follow me, sir.
Come on, you bloody rabbits! Don't be scared! Down here!
I've sent for the Coast Guard and the lifeboat.
The Coast Guard can't do nothing but pray. And no boat can pull round the point against that tide. Sir, tide will be over Table Rock in an hour. 30 feet deep. Down, down. Every man jack him unless you and me takes them off.
Right! Where's your boat?
It's over here. Give us a hand.
She's only a skiff.
It's all we've got.
She'll never last in that sea.
She might do. If we let the tide take us up on the west side of the
She'll
tube.
carry away like a matchstick.
That's a chance we gotta take.
Come on!
Don't keep it in there, Mr. Craddock. Be what you
Come on! Bring her on! Emma, over here, grab my hand! Come on,
Hazel, dear, make up that fire. And fill every pot you can find and put them onto boil.
Yes?
Come on, off. You, dear. Sissy. Now, I want you to get all the beds ready. And find all the spare blankets you can. Then you better clear some floor space for people to lie down and sweep it clean. Thanks. Well, come on, don't just stand there. There's work to do.
I can make some right nourishing nut soup, Mum.
Good girl. That's an excellent idea. Oh, and Sissy, have you got a horse in the...
Violet.
Violet, have you got a horse in the stables?
What? Oh, Bessie.
Well, I saw a couple of hurdles out in the yards. Now, I want you to use Bessie to drag those hurdles down to the cliffs.
What for, Mum?
Stretchers, of course.
Oh, yes, Mum.
Now, wait. When you come back, you may be helping me to move men with open wounds. So before they get here, we're all going to have a good wash.
We need more rope, boys! You take the end where the boat goes, Sam. Give us anchorage. Leave it to me, sir. Right.
I'm ready.
I'll go.
You be damned. They one of you know that don't like me nor the skiff.
You've been enough at your age.
You cheeky whelp. I can hook you both flat on your backs.
I'll come with him. No, I'm going. Now make ready to launch.
Smart. You play out the rope. Mind it's mine, I do be minded.
She jerks too hard. She'll snap.
You get back there and test every bloody knot they tie. you sinker! Pull your varmints! Pull!
Bail, you bloody fools! Bail!
Pull! Pull! Pull!
Here she comes!
Pull! Come on! Pull! Come on! Pull!
How many more? 5, as far as I can see. Tide will be over them in 15 minutes. I gotta get back at once. Meg, take these people up to the house. You two, help her.
You leave this to us, right?
Tamer, are you ready for another trip?
I got no choice, have I? Not with this clumsy lot.
I'll lead the way out, Mr. Rudd! All right, man. Go ahead, Jack. I'll support him at the back.
Make ready with the rope.
Come on, then. Come on, Taylor.
Put away there!
Let the rope off. Come on. Come on. Push us out. Come on. Come on.
There. Das wird besser sein. Hazel, dear, throw that away and put his clothes to dry by the fire.
What's he say, Mum?
They come from a small German ship called the Salzbach. She left Weymouth this afternoon, but she ran aground in the storm. She broke up. Now then, how are you?
He's all right. Put this on. He'd be a fine strapping chap, ain't he, Seth?
Ain't you, my love?
Wait till he got his strength back, Vi.
Feel like him at the bottom already. Pull, damn ya! Pull! Pull! Disengage it! Achtung, rocks! No! Pansy, go on! Come on!
Come on, sir. Keep going. Come on, Meg. Tamer's gone. The boys have dived 100 times. He's gone.
There's him back. Man and wife be one flesh.
Her were a rare old waster all her life. But her died a man's death, come to last.